Hello, my name is Noemi Caballero Rodriguez, and I'm going to go over the Contemporary Business Leader presentation. So, for the person that I decided to interview, I chose Caleb Reed, which is a U.S. MDR Operations Center Manager at Kudelski Security. He also was a part of the Phoenix Police Department full-time. Now he just does it voluntarily for the Navajo Reservation whenever he chooses to, whether it's on weekends or holidays. It's kind of at his own pace. And he is in the technology and cybersecurity industry and has been in this industry for a little bit over a year and a half. And Caleb Reed is currently my manager, as I am a cybersecurity Tier 1 analyst at Kudelski Security. So, when asking him about his greatest career achievement as a leader, he had to mention the time he was at the police department because this background taught him resilience, it brought him out of his comfort zone, and even taught him how to do small talk, which was very helpful in his role as a manager at Kudelski. He went from hating conflict and being very timid to creating a new team morale with a new team dynamic, being more intentional with the one-on-one meetings with each employee, each security analyst, and creating a really open culture through listening to the security analysts and where they're coming from, being empathetic towards them, and acknowledging how changes can affect the team itself, and also being him aware about how the team can be limited and the limitations that the job has itself. Now, I did ask for an ethical issue, and thankfully he has not had any ethical issues before or challenges, but he does have a recurring operational challenge that implies running a security operations center that is expected to deliver a service while experiencing continual turnover and onboarding of new analysts and all of what that implies. This has been handled by him by focusing on training programs, pairing new hires with experienced team members, encouraging collaborative learning, such as shadowing, and those types of dynamics through the conceptualization of a scalable system for long term, foreseeing and anticipating how this turnover would work out, and kind of showing the stewardship by taking responsibility in the delivery of the training itself, and also committing to the growth of the people, the growth of the security analyst from a professional and technical standpoint. So the biggest power bases that I see in Caleb are the referent and expert power bases. The referent is about being personal with relationships and gaining respect from others, and it's with that intentionality that he mentions he does in the one-on-ones, being present and taking care of the employees themselves. He takes very much care about the mental health aspect of the employees, giving security analyst fatigue in cybersecurity is a thing, and he is aware of it, and also working with the team dynamics, credibility, the competence, the ability to develop around others, and kind of more going into the impact of the referent power has an impact through the listening and being emotionally there, showing that it's a safe space and we can, or the security analyst can feel safe in expressing and voicing concerns. And also the expert impact is seen through the consistency of the delivery of the plans, and also how scalable it can be. So I kind of discovered that Caleb is a very strong servant leader that shows a clear entrepreneurial mindset through the mission that he has, and that he very much portrays very well and carries out very well. in being a high achiever, but also having a high worth ethic in keeping the service, but also keeping that high turnover and taking care of the people at the same time, with the vision of being open to experiences, whether they're new, enriching, fruitful, or just things that will be beneficial for the team and the people individually, but also seeing it through a strategy standpoint, emphasizing the importance of one-on-ones and really creating these safe spaces for each individual. And just to kind of emphasize more of how important the servant leadership style is, from how Caleb carries it, is the focus on the people, and which is seen through the team morale. It's seen through the individual growth that is offered through certifications, through training, through time that is dedicated for the person themselves within the allotted time in their day-to-day jobs. Intentional one-on-one meetings where Caleb talks with the security analysts about their personal life, and then kind of talks about the housekeeping things which he learned from the time he was in the police department. And it's very people driven, very people oriented, very people committed. Mentoring, training, and pairing up creates this sense of community for the SOC. So just as Caleb runs this SOC, the Security Operations Center, Larry Page is the leader and co-founder of Google, also in the technology field, and he follows more of a democratic and transformational leadership, more because he runs a bigger and more wider and more broader organization, fostering an equal environment for employees since the beginning of the hiring process, and also fostering transparency and collaboration, not only laterally but also down the corporate chain, with strengths such as having welcoming innovation, which has pretty much made Google more forefront in their tech advancements, empowering the employees, but also has the weekends of maybe going too much out of the comfort zone and risking some of the organization, and also having unclear decision makings because of ambiguity. So with analyzing the different leadership styles, there have been three characteristics that I found between the transformational leadership and the servant leadership and other kinds of leadership styles, which include inspiring others, whether that is through motivating them to learn or just through acts of service, stimulating them to improve their environment around them, whether that's through personal actions or just getting exposed to new experiences and really getting in this mentality of development and positively transforming others. And it is important to note that people with different characteristics will be attracted to perform differently as they're exposed to different experiences and out of their comfort zone. And so to finalize, the reason why I chose Caleb Reed is not only because he's my manager and we both work at Kudelski Security, but more so because of his background in the police department and how I was genuinely curious about how a background of something that apparently has nothing to do with cybersecurity and management, and how he carries the team would even impact. And it was the way I perceived his management style has always been in a positive form, and I consider him a great manager, and I was genuinely curious about how the police department, his police department background had kind of had an impact in his cybersecurity career, and it was interesting for me to find how the report writing that I use in my day-to-day job as a cybersecurity analyst has been very much influenced by how report writing is done in the police department, and how he has kind of brought that idea and that mentality into the security operations center, the cybersecurity operations center at Kedelsky Security, and how it's kept direct, concise, and straight to the point, which is very much needed when communicating with clients about cybersecurity attacks, life threats, and things that have a tangible and real impact as it is dealt with in cybersecurity. And I guess I had not acknowledged, just as a final remark, I had not acknowledged all of the back end work that was being done by Caleb, and how that made my experience as an employee so smooth and really resourceful, even for me and my growth as a professional in cybersecurity. Thank you very much.